Good morning, students. Today we'll start the third part of the chapter, why do we need a parliament? This is very simple concept of this chapter, the role of the parliament. It means what are the functions of parliament. Why do we need parliament? Because it is the representative body, it makes laws, it represents the country and it governs as on behalf of the people. So the parliament is very important in most of the democratic countries where parliamentary system or parliamentary form of government is being implemented. So let's start the role of the parliament. In India, as we have discussed, that Indian parliament is bicameral parliament. Why it is called bicameral parliament? Because it consists of two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Two houses are there. Lok Sabha is the lower house, house of the people. Rajya Sabha is the upper house, house of the states. Because the members of Rajya Sabha are elected by the state legislative assemblies members, means MLAs. So it is representing the states. Clear? So what are the functions or what is the role of parliament? Listen very carefully. The first, to select the national government. What is the national government? It is written in the NCERT book, national government. It is the central government. It's about the central government. Central government means the government which governs entire country, which controls entire country, all the states, all the parts of the country. So this is the central government. To select the central government or national government, this is the major function of parliament, because you know that government is formed on the basis of the majority in Lok Sabha. Majority in Lok Sabha. Total seats in Lok Sabha are 545. Out of 543 are elected from the states in India and from union territories. 2 members are nominated from Anglo-Indian society, Anglo-Indian community, by the President of India. So in this way, the majority seats required 272. This is the majority figure. If any party gets 272 or more than 272, that makes the government as central government in Lok Sabha only, right? And the leader of the majority party in Lok Sabha is called Prime Minister. Prime Minister, right? For example, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of India at this time, and he is the leader of Bharatiya Janata Party and the alliance parties, means NDA, right? National Democratic Alliance, NDA. So now the government is of BJP plus alliance. So this is the central government and it is selected by the parliament, because in Lok Sabha the majority party always forms the government. So this is the first function, that only in the parliament is being decided that which party, which leaders will be in the government and will run the government. Next function is to control, guide and inform the government. How it is possible? Parliament controls the government. You know, entire parliament is not the government. Clear? There is government within the parliament, because the government is the majority party in Lok Sabha only. But members in Lok Sabha, those who are not in the government, play the role of opposition. And the members of Rajya Sabha also out of the government, so they also play very important or crucial role in democratic system as a representation of the people, representatives of the people. So it controls the government. If government takes any decision that is discussed and debated in the parliament, so opposition leaders can raise the question, they can ask the question, they can put the question mark on the policies of the government if these are wrong for the people. So in this way it controls the government. It means it checks the government to be the dictatorial, right? Clear? Next one is guide. It guides the government, parliament. Always the decisions are taken and the bills are proposals are put in the parliament, whether in Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha. So these bills are discussed first by all the members. All the members of parliament will give their opinion and ideas on the particular bill. So that bill is good or bad for the people. So after that voting is there, then the bill is passed after 3 readings. So this is the process. It means on any issue, Parliament, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha both can guide the government that this work should be done, this work should not be done. In this way the government will work according to the wish of the Parliament. Next one is inform the government. All the informations, any issue in the country, clear? Any issue in the country means during the question hour, during the 0 hour, or on any important issue, the Parliament can discuss, can inform the government. For example, any member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha during the session of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, during the session, the member can put the issue, can raise the issue of the country, right? Instant issue of the country in the Parliament, whether in Lok Sabha and in Rajya Sabha. So the government is informed by the opposition parties, the government is informed by the member of Parliament. So in this way the major function of Parliament is information to the government. Next one is law making. This is the major function, law making, because Parliament is the legislature of the country. So it has the major function of making the laws. So law making is the main function. It makes the laws for the country. Parliament passes the laws. First of all, bill is presented in Parliament. After that, it is passed by one house, and then after passing in one house, it goes to another house. After passing in another house, then it is passed by Lok Sabha, then it is passed by Rajya Sabha, and then it will go to the President of the country, President of India. After the sign of President of India, the bill becomes the laws. So this is a very important concept, that how the bill becomes law, right? All the bills, all the proposals are not laws, cannot become laws, right, until the Parliament passes them, right, and then President of India signs them. So after passing in Lok Sabha or first in Rajya Sabha, ordinary bill can be presented in Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha, anywhere. So after passing by one house, then it comes to another house, then it goes to President of India, and after the signature of President of India, it can become the law. Next is representation of people. Parliament always represents the people, because this is the representative body, as we discussed in the beginning of this chapter, that Parliament is the representative body. So it represents the people of the country, right? Because people elect them. The member of Rajya Sabha are elected by the people indirectly. The member of Lok Sabha are elected by the people directly. So in this way, in both of the houses, all the members are elected and they represent the people of the country. Next one is amendment in the constitution. Only the Parliament has the power to amend the constitution, amendment in the constitution. So many amendments till now took place in the Parliament. For example, if we take first amendment in 1951 to put ninth schedule. After that, very important amendment that was in 1985, 52nd amendment, 1989, 61st amendment, 1992, 93, 73rd, 74th amendment. So in this way, so many amendments till now, more than 100 amendments till now have been done by the Parliament in the constitution. So whatever written in the constitution, it is amendable, means excluding basic structure of the constitution. So the Parliament can amend the constitution, can amend in any part of the constitution. Next one is financial function. What is the financial function? Financial function means money bill or union budget. Parliament passes the money bill, right? Lok Sabha, particular Lok Sabha has a special power regarding money bill, and union budget is presented in Parliament every year. So this is the major function of Parliament. After that, supervising administrative. This is another function of Parliament, that it always supervises administration in the country, because it controls executive as well as the legislature. So both of the things, executive including permanent executive and political executive, both. So in this way there are so many functions of Parliament, and we have discussed only main functions of Parliament, because Parliament has very important role in democratic countries. So dear students, I hope that you understood, and Parliament also has the power on the subjects of union list Parliament, because union list consists of the 97 subjects, under the central government. But there are 66 subjects in state list, right? 66 subjects. So union list subjects are under parliament, and sometimes also the subjects given in the state list can be under the parliament, right? If we talk about article 249, if we talk about article 253, so according to these articles, some provisions are there under which the parliament can make the laws on the list on the subjects given in the state list. Clear? So this is another function of parliament. So dear students, in this way we have discussed the role of the parliament. I hope that you understood all the concepts. If you don't understand, you can ask me by writing in comment box. Thank you. Have a nice day.